That's probably enough silence. Welcome to the Labyrinth of Lore. I am Steven.
And I am Miriam.
And we're here to talk about flavor and silliness, and dang it, I did not get a single one of the cards I need for this Kobold deck. Whispers of the
Steven
Old...
is multitasking today,
Whispers of the Old Gods came out, and I'm trying to build my Murloc Paladin deck while opening as few Old God packs as possible so I can use them for videos and such. But I really want to open them, and I want to build my stupid standard Murloc Paladin, because I have to. Like, I'm pretty sure I literally have to.
You get...
There's literally... Okay, I don't care. This is totally going to be the first thing we talk about, and I don't care. There's a Murloc card from the new set that literally makes your... Oh, come on, there it is. Whispers of the Old Gods. I need a... No. It is Epic Filter. Oh, wait, no. I can filter it down to Paladin. There we go. It is called Vilefin Inquisitor.
Mm-hmm.
There's my copy. There it is. And it is adorable. So, for those of you who don't play Hearthstone, basic idea is that, very similar to Magic, but assume that you get 1 mana a turn, and instead of colors, you have classes, and there's no mixing and matching. Every class has a hero power that it can spend 2 mana on to do a thing. It's usually something small and incremental, but generally helpful. So, Vilefin Inquisitor is a 1/3 for 1, which is pretty freaking good on its own. However, it changes your battle cry, as a battle cry, which is an enter the battlefield effect. It changes your paladin hero power from summon a 1/1 Argent Squire to summon a 1/1 Murloc, which if you're doing a Murloc deck, is amazing, and it makes me so happy, and it's adorable, and it's grown tentacles instead of feet, and it's amazing.
Aw, look at his little face. It's so cute. I don't know why I'm finding, what was the name of the card you sent me earlier?
Enzoth 3.
The Spawn of Enzoth.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to squish its little face.
Dang it, still no Murlocs. I'm only going to open one more of these packs.
Glowing, fiery eyes. I still want to squish its little cheeks.
Yep, I'm really happy. Yeah, I'm really loving this set of Hearthstone for pretty much the same reason I love this set of Magic. It's the, weird horror aspects and the what-ifs, and I just opened a Spawn of Enzoth, yay! I also opened a Fiery Bat, which I've never seen before. Can you hear that dog?
I can totally hear that dog.
God damn it.
Is that Cosmo?
No, that is the neighbor upstairs in Caddy Corner then. Their dog has been horribly misbehaving, and of course they then decided to get a new puppy, so...
Oh, wait, is this the neighbors who have the tiny little white puppy?
No. This is the neighbors who have a German Shepherd and then just got a brand new, Dachshund something.
Oh,
yeah.
Dear.
Yeah. They got into a fight with someone at 3 a.m. in the middle of our, shared front area. It was loud.
The people or the dogs?
The people about the dogs.
Ah.
Yep. Screw it. Opening another pack. Don't care.
Have packs will open.
Well, I have 50.
Oh, you can afford to open at least a few.
I have 50.
You'll be fine.
God, son of a... I swear this game knows I hate playing Warrior. So I just opened a pack with 2 rares in it. They're both Ancient Shieldbearer, which is a Warrior card.
It's kind of how I felt when Alex opened a pack that had Avacyn in it, and I'm like, damn it!
Wait, that one glowed purple. Was that special? Nope, it just glowed purple.
Does that count as something that needs to be bleeped?
No.
Oh, good.
Oh my god.
I've been so good thus far.
More Warrior cards. Okay. I'm gonna refocus on our actual cast.
Good. I think we've been talking about it for 5 minutes.
Yeah. So, sorry that we missed an episode last week. That was mostly because I had to go to Charlotte, and that was just its own sort of funness.
We'll talk about that maybe in the end notes. Just
the extra bits.
The extra bits.
Yeah. It was not the most funnerest thing ever.
I mean, from what you told me, it sounded both fun, the actual competition sounded fun, but everything else surrounding that, traveling and communication, was let's be honest, I think you could have dredged it up from the sludgy waste of a porta potty.
A little bit, yeah.
Ooh, that was really good description, though.
Yeah, makes me think about it again. I'd rather not keep thinking about it.
All right, on with the show.
Yeah. Well, while we're moving on with the show, I'm looking for the cards that got nerfed in Hearthstone so I can disenchant them for full value.
While Stephen is doing that, I think I will introduce the topic for today. Since last week was a little bit crazy for both of us, I had a couple of midterms, some papers, just general, like, oh my god, it's the end of the year, I'm gonna die, type stressing. We decided that we were gonna do, like, a kind of a shorter, less technical, show tonight, just because we both really like Magic. But we got into it in different ways, and we decided we were gonna talk about kind of how we got into Magic and the sets we started with, and kind of give you just a little bit of background about us. It's one of those fun get to know your host type episodes.
At least that's pretty much the plan.
We're probably gonna get distracted multiple times, or at least I think I can guarantee Steven's distraction with Hearthstone
totally.
tonight. But we'll try our best to keep on track.
In my defense, brand new set, it's basically the exact same thing I was doing when... Oh, right. No, stupid. Sorry, I forgot that one of the best Murloc cards is no longer available the normal way. You have to craft him now.
I was wondering if you were going to finish that sentence.
Basically, there's a guy called Old Murkai, and it used to be that you got him for free when you collected all of the Murlocs from the classic set. Mm-hmm. But that's not available anymore. Now you have to craft him. Same with Captain's Parrot, which did the same thing but for pirates.
I like pirates.
Yeah, oh well.
Alrighty, so I guess on to a little bit about how we started playing Magic.
Yeah, would you like to open up, or do you want me to?
I'll let you be distracted for just a little bit longer.
Okay.
I'm benevolent like that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyways, so I got started playing Magic when I was 8. And when I say started playing Magic, I mean my brothers tried to teach me how to play. They built me one deck, and I kind of was like, I'm not really into this. Maybe another time. And so just a little bit of background. I come from a family with 3 brothers, 2 of whom are fairly nerdy. Both of them play Magic, and both of them play Dungeons and Dragons and a couple other games of that nature. So that was one of those things that we've bonded over in the coming years. So fast forward several years to the summer of my senior year of high school. My oldest brother decided, you know what? We're gonna get you playing Magic again. And that's kind of where I started. And the set I started with, I actually had to go back into my cards to look. I apparently did start with some Innistrd. I have like a mix of some early Innistrd cards. Not a lot of them, but there's some Innistrd in there, and I had some Dark Ascension. I actually had a few Gatecrash, some Avacyn Restored. Basically, it was kind of a mix of things. So this would have been the summer of 2011 when I started. So I kind of started up in just hey, let's just play. We'll teach you how to play again. We'll teach you the mechanics. You can use your cards and try building decks with that. And I really enjoyed doing that. It was a way to bond with my siblings, and let's be honest, I kind of discovered how competitive I am. Like, Steven, you've played Magic with me before, right?
I have.
I get kind of into it.
Just a bit.
Like, can get kind of ragey over it. Especially if I get really into a game. So that can be kind of frustrating, but it definitely means that I do love the game. And there's something about using strategy, and then there's the luck of the cards that you draw, and being able to really try to fit together a strategy that's kind of fun. And I mean, as you've noticed from our earlier podcast, I'm definitely an art nut. I love looking at the new cards and the new sets and the styles. And honestly, even when I wasn't playing in that time period from when I was 8 to when I was 17 or so, I still would love going through my brother's cards and looking at the art. So I definitely love Magic for that reason. And I'm trying to think of my first deck that I ever built by myself. I think it was a green-black deck that I called Things That Go Bump in the Night. I had a lot of like zombies and like rat creatures in there.
Well, there was also a card called Bump in the Night that has had its value artificially inflated rather significantly.
Really?
It is I want to say it's a common from original Innistrd, and it's just a black card that says deal. Yeah, it's a black card that says deal 3 damage. I don't remember what it costs, and then has a flashback cost for red that does the same thing. And for some reason, Loading Ready Run started making a joke about it, and then it became a running thing to give them copies of the card. So they accidentally artificially inflated its value to a massive level.
That's kind of cool.
Like, when I say massive, I mean it went from like a 5-cent common to like a 25-cent common, something to that effect. It was
still pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a lot for a card that silly.
Oh, darn it. I'm trying to remember what the name... I was just thinking about the fact that I actually started my deck with a pre-built deck, and then I broke it down from there, mixing in my brother's cards and things like that, which was kind of cool. And then I also, one of my cousins, Adam, has been playing since... Let's see, I think Adam is about 4 years younger than we are.
Okay.
No, yes, 3 years younger than we are. And he's been playing for just as long as we have. But when I kind of phased out of Magic, he kind of kept playing. So we ended up giving him a lot of our older cards, which now that I think about it, it would be really cool to go through them and see kind of what we had. But when I started playing, he built me a deck. It's an Is It deck from Guild Path.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, I love this deck. It's so cool. And again, the artwork is fabulous. And he does listen to this podcast. So Adam, I still have the Is It deck you built me. It's fantastic, and I love playing with it. Showing some love right there. But yeah, the art style for this is so fantastically cartoonish in certain places that it's fun to play this set. Let me see. It's fun to do. The cards are kind of cool. It's a red-black deck, which I don't tend to play very often, just because I tend to play more aggressive styles. Like, one of my favorite decks that I've ever played was one that my older brother built. It was a red-black deck that was, like, incredibly smashy. It just, so many low-level creatures that just bulldozed you before you could ever build a proper defense for it. It was really fun to play with. Not quite so fun to play against, but it was a fun deck. I wish I could remember more of the cards that were in it. And as I said, I got into the lore of things really late, in terms of Magic standpoints. Like, I'm just learning about the lore now as we're doing these podcasts, just because I'm like, I want to know the story behind these. I understand that there's years and years and years and years of like these sets that are going on, and I want to understand.
I mean, some of the lore, especially the older lore, is weird and janky as heck, but a lot of the newer stuff, basically anything post-mending, makes a little bit more sense, and I think tends to just generally be better. But that's because a lot of the old lore focused on this bizarre stuff of almost every planeswalker was effectively a god and could just do whatever the hell they wanted, which is part of why they had the mending. But the basic idea was that you had these effectively immortal beings that just sort of decided the fates of millions. There was an entire thing of an event called the Brothers' War that lasted for hundreds of years that was literally two of these guys raising up nations to throw at each other. It was weird story, I'll give it that. But it could definitely have been worse.
Yeah, for me, I think it was really cool I love the fact that Magic has been around for longer than I've been alive, which is kind of neat since I'm 22. I'm all of 22 years, and it's kind of cool to see how it's evolved over the years. Like, some of the cards, And for example, certain books that I read that are, what is the name of the series? There's a series called Geekomancy. It's an independent novel series that I really liked, and they keep mentioning a lot of these different magic cards. And as I'm starting to get more into magic, and especially the history behind all of it and the lore, I'm kind of, and not just the planes themselves, but of like the history of like the magic community over the years. It's kind of cool to see.
And there's actually a new Netflix documentary called, oh shoot, what's it called? It actually went live today on Netflix and on YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, I think it's Enter the Battlefield, following a bunch of pro players, just sort of looking at how, and then I hiccup and die, what the hell? Looking at basically their lives on the pro tour, how it affects their family, and basically it follows a bunch of people who treat this pretty much as their job. Okay. And I had to go check, but technically the first release of Magic, which was limited edition alpha, came out 5 months after I was born, so I am technically older than Magic. Woohoo!
Well, you're only like a year older than me, exactly, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm fair warning, I am attempting to play a, derpy as all bollocks deck on Hearthstone right now. I literally bashed out a standard Murloc deck right now, so we'll see how that goes. Huh. So, I started playing Magic apparently significantly more recently than you the first time, and just didn't stop. Oh, look, I'm even on the new Battlefield. One of those is a horrible card.
I think this is going to be really fun to hear you talk about it, because it's going to be interspersed with you talking about Hearthstone in the most scatterbrained way possible, and it's really funny.
So it's just like the first... There's a cool battlefield that you get to play on, and depending on it's a bunch of random ones. Like there's some that were in the original game, and then every time a new set or an expansion comes out, they add a new different thing to it. Mm-hmm. So in this case, this is one of the original ones that they had way back in beta, but corrupted by the old gods. Also, my opening hand had the Vilefin Inquisitor, which is adorable, and oh my goodness, what is going on here? And it's wonderful, and I love it. And basically, I had a bunch of sweet Murlocs in my opening hand, so this is going to be awesome.
Cool.
And a thing that has taunt, so ha ha ha, screw you, person. So, I started playing when Rise of the Eldrazi had been out for like a month or so. Oh, that's going to make me sad, isn't it? And I immediately went, well, these Eldrazi things are sweet. I don't know what they are, really, but they seem sweet. And immediately, I believe I picked up a...
So this is 2010, right? Ish.
I think... Let me see. Expansion sets. Come here. Oh, wait, I went too far. Rise of the Eldrazi came out April 2010.
Okay.
So sometime around that. Or no, it pre-released April 2010. April 10th, 2010.
I see what they were doing there.
You're not helping. I think that's probably just because that was the Friday, because it's always, or pre-release is on Saturday, sorry.
Yeah.
So I saw, these Eldrazi things are cool, and I got what did I get? I got one of those, the Deck Builder's Toolkit, which is one of the silliest things I have ever seen. It's basically, here's a whole bunch of land, and...
Then some cards.
Yeah, and just some cards. It is entirely random what you're going to end up with. This seems like a bad play.
I actually do have a Deck Builder's Toolkit that my dad got for my brother and I when we were getting back into Magic again.
You just end up with some of the weirdest stuff.
You tend to get a lot of, nothing super interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all really great if you're trying to build a deck.
But you don't get any rares, you get some halfway decent uncommons, but that's pretty much it. But I got a Deck Builder's Toolkit from Rise of the Eldrazi, and then just took off running from there. Because I was like, these Eldrazi things are cool, I want to do something with them, I don't know what. And I think I ended up deciding that these Eldrazi are sweet, but I don't feel like I can build a good thing with it, because I know there's these big mythic Eldrazi things that seem really cool, but I don't have any of them, so I guess I better not, rely on having them.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up going and just sort of building some silly derpy decks until I heard that there was a new set coming out. And I went out and started playing Scars of Mirrodin. I think this is the first time I went to FNM. This is the first time, because a local place in my hometown called the Emerald Knight that was actually run by a friend's dad? I think it still is. Wonderful place, really awesome. If you're ever in Burbank, California, you should check it out. It's an amazing comic shop.
I might actually have to check it out because, the whole family thing.
Yeah, it's just so cool. And they, a couple folks got me to go do, the pre-release in FNM there, and from there I was just hooked, because it was getting to come in from the very beginning of a story and seeing just how goofy it could be when it really tried.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't play in... Oh, that did not do quite as much as I hoped it would. Why did that get buffed? That makes no sense. Oh, now it makes sense. Damn it. Scars of Mirrodin was the introduction of a bad mechanic, by all rights, but I loved it, called Infect. Because there used to be this horrible mechanic called Poison, wherein a creature, usually it would amount to a 2/2 or a 3/3 creature, would have Poisonous 1. Whenever this creature dealt damage to an opponent, it would deal that damage, and then it would attach a poison counter to the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
That poison counter would... Oh, that was the exact opposite of helpful, stupid card. Would kill the opponent if they had 10 of them. However, almost every single poisonous creature had a habit of, you will literally kill them with real damage before you kill them with poison. So, all in all, not the best thing ever.
Okay.
But Infect was, 1, creatures don't do normal damage at all. Whenever they hit an opponent, they do that much poison damage. Mm-hmm. So that was wonderful and a great addition. And then they added... whenever they dealt damage to a creature, the creature got a -1/-1 counter. So basically you ended up with this massive, silly, stupid aggro deck that went... Yeah, you know how you think we're playing Magic? That's not how this is working. It very much just sort of went, so I'm gonna hit you, and you're going to actually want to give up your creatures in the worst trades you can even imagine, because not doing it means losing way more, way faster.
That sounds almost kind of evil.
It was. In fact, Infect is one of those decks that I kind of want to play in Modern, solely because it's almost kind of an aggro deck, but it's sort of a combo deck. But Infect was an amazing mechanic, and it really, frankly, the art of Mirrodin is what got me into the game. Really, oh no, you bad, bad man.
You are so distracted right now. It's so great.
Dude basically just played the only real board wipe in all of Hearthstone. Twisting Nether, destroy all minions, to get rid of 1 minion that I had.
That's kind of dumb.
In his defense, it had 6 attack, and he is now at 7 life, so...
Still?
Yeah.
Okay,
But,
let me look at this card art here.
So, Mirrodin, as it progressed, had this thing of basically, there were the Mirren, they were the pure, they were the things that were sort of uncorrupted. And then there were these Phyrexians, which I didn't realize at the time have a long history of being involved in Magic Story.
Mm-hmm.
And as I started playing, I began to sort of realize that and looked into it later. But basic idea is that the Phyrexians originally wanted to make machine people, or they felt that machines were automatically better than normal living things. God, I'm gonna lose and I don't care.
better than like your basic humanoid type creatures.
Yeah, they were just like, nope, everything machines are objectively better. We should make everything machines. And
oh, what was it? I was on the Scars of Mirriam, and there's just like this little. It looks like a dodo bird.
Perilous Mirror.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah,
it's adorable.
I want to say it's two generic mana for a 2/2 that when it dies you get to deal 1 damage to something.
I think so. I just since I'm just glancing at the card art right now.
Yeah, like the mirror, a perfect example. When I started playing this, I immediately went, okay, I'm building a mirror deck because they're silly and adorable and goofy. Because there's one that taps to make every color of mana. There's one that taps to make 2 generic mana. 2 colorless mana. There's one that is a mirror lord that buffs all of them and can let you do an infinite mana production cycle if you have more than 2 mirror.
Yeah, no, it makes me think of like a dodo bird, a little derpy dodo.
Yeah, they're all adorable, but then you start to see, like, as Mirrodin progressed, you started to see the Phyrexians, like, corrupting them. Because it was just the idea of this little bit of oil that had been left on Mirrodin generations and generations and generations before that was slowly corrupting things and turning them into Phyrexians. And then once the Phyrexians existed, they actually started aiding the process and making it faster and significantly more horrifying. And just the art that did this was so good.
And this is through the set Scars of Mirrodin, or is this...
So with Scars of Mirrodin, it was like a 90% Mirren, 10% Phyrexian split. Then Mirrodin Besieged was 50-50, and you also had cards that had like a watermark on them to show which faction they belonged to. And then we had New Phyrexia, where they did a really stupid thing, where they went, it's going to be New Phyrexia or Mirrodin Pure, and they showed one card from each air quotes set. And the Mirren one was like Dark Steel. Oh, what was it? It wasn't Dark Steel. It was a stupid little artifact that you could tap and pay a tap, and it would like make 1 colorless mana and gain you 1 life. And the New Phyrexian one was like a really like good card that made it seem like, yeah, the Phyrexians totally won. And they went out of their way and said, like, yeah, these are both real cards. You'll see them no matter what set it is. It's like, it's not Mirrodin Pure because, 1, the bad guys haven't won in a while, except that they sort of won in Rise of Eldrazi. And 2, you need a new big bad guy since Nicol Bolas can't do all of the evil things.
Jeez, this is creepy.
Yeah.
Jin Gitaxias?
Jin Gitaxias is a creepy, creepy dude.
Oh my god, he is the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah, he is one of the...
It is not a goal, but a process. The process of creating the perfect Phyrex. Oh god, that's so creepy.
He is one of the
I don't
5...
like it.
He's one of the 5 Praetors. It used to be that original Phyrexia was solely aligned with black. When it came to Mirrodin, though, they were basically forced to spread into all the other colors. So you've got basically each one of them develops their own version of what the original Phyrexian goal was to like unify everything and make them all machines. So you've got Jin Gitaxias leading the blue, who basically are just experimenting and trying to figure out the most efficient way to change all of existence to be Phyrexian. You've got the machine Orthodoxy in white, which is my favorite thing ever, led by Elish Norn, who basically have developed this religious fervor almost around it, and have this bizarre thing of like not even necessarily tearing the things that they take and change into Phyrexians apart, but just taking most specifically away their just skin, so it's just muscle, and then building out these sort of porcelain metal plates out from there.
Wait a second. I feel like we discussed that.
Yep, because I had a D&D character who theoretically was a warlock drawing power from Elish Norn.
Okay, that's what came to mind.
Yep. Then you've got green in... Technically, the Praetor was... oh god, what's his name? Vorinclex, who is just this big monstrous dude who, like, yes, everything should be Phyrexian, but just because you're Phyrexian doesn't mean you're perfect, and was this idea of the Phyrexians have to basically utilize evolution. The strongest must survive.
Yeah.
And then the real praetor for green was actually Glissa, the traitor, who was a elf but was technically green-black, but Vorinclex was very much animalistic. And then pure black was weird. Technically there was a praetor, but there were 9 thanes who were actively fighting over who led the black-aligned group.
Mm-hmm.
But the one we got to see was Shieldred, the whispering one, who from the waist up looks like a fairly normal woman with a giant weird hat.
What's the name of this card?
Shieldred, Sheol.
Shieldred, the whispering one?
Yeah, so from waist up, totally normal woman, weird hat, waist down, that is a monster mouth thing with legs and a spider body.
Oh god, ew, I'm sorry. I am not an arachnid fan, and anything that smacks of
it's not even really spider.
Or it's almost like crustacean.
It is literally
a beetle-like crustacea type thing.
It is a mouth with legs. That is what she has below the waist.
And a woman's torso.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not creepy.
Yep.
Whatsoever.
And then in red you had Urabrask. I don't remember what his title was. I think he was the Hidden, who controlled the Furnace Layer, and he was a little bit weird, mostly because he didn't necessarily agree with all things Phyrexian. He was very much the red emphasis on chaos and following one's own personal ideals, and he's the one who actually let the remaining Mirran forces that weren't corrupted by Phyrexia live out in the Furnace Layer without actively harassing them.
That's always nice.
Yeah, but just all of these things that I didn't read the books, I didn't read the stories or anything. This is stuff that I picked up from the card art and things and flavor text. And this is what hooked me with the story so completely. It was just, this is the story that they've managed to tell without me wanting to read a single book, which is good because the books for the Mirrodin set and the Zendikar set were really bad. Namely,
I actually remember picking up one of the books set in the Kamigawa plane, went on a road trip with my brothers, and not quite understanding, but still liking it nevertheless.
I think I have 2 of the 3 of them. The only series I've read all the way through was the original Ravnica. But just to clarify, the ones for Zendikar and Scars were so bad, they didn't do one for Innistrad.
Though I feel like that would have been really cool.
It would have, but they were so bad in the past 2 years that they didn't do one. And then with Return to Ravnica, they started doing the ebook thing where it was free and it was called The Secretist or something. It was strange, and frankly, Return to Ravnica had a dumb story anyway. But
and now we actually have the official, what is it? The Uncharted.
Well, we used to have Uncharted Realms, which came out anyway, and they used to mostly be written by Doug Beyer, who he basically was the one who was also writing the good Magic cycle books, but he wasn't writing all of them, and the people they got on the times he wasn't writing them were not good. But then we had a new writer who changed it to the Uncharted Realms, and that was running the whole way through all of these, and after that we started doing this thing where there's multiple authors writing the stories, and then they all get compiled and put into ebooks that are free, so that's pretty good.
Definitely.
I did not realize that they had announced the silly names for everything up until 2018. So
what is making noise? Sorry. One of the joys, it's funny, I had a page on the Magic the Gathering wiki with all of the symbols just so I could figure out. I went through my cards and figured out, okay, well, where is this from? And where is this from? And where is that from? And it started making noise, and I'm like, why are you doing this?
Thankfully, it did not come through on this end.
So I know, that's the best part. You just get me vocally flailing what is this?
So if you're not aware, they usually announce playtest names long before sets actually get names. In fact, we were calling... So Shadows over Innistrad was Tears and Fears. We didn't know what Fears was until a month ago when it was announced as Eldritch Moon. But we know that The 2016 to 2017 block is Lock and Stock. 2017 is Barrels and Laughs, or Barrel and Laughs.
Okay, that sounds... Okay.
2017 to 2018 cross is Ham and Eggs.
What?
2018 is Soup and Salad. 2018 and 2019 is Spaghetti and Meatballs. Some of the past ones that were really good were Theros was Friends, Romans, Countrymen.
Okay.
Khans of Tarkir was Huey, Dewey, and Louie. The old Innistrd block had the stupidest one, which was Shake, Rattle, and Roll.
That is... What? No, that's dumb.
Sometimes they are tangentially related to their subject. Sometimes they are not.
Okay, for Lock, Stock, and Barrel... Oh, is it something that's been chained up that is getting back?
It's just Lock and Stock. Barrel
and Stock.
Barrel is part of Barrel and Laughs.
Excuse me. Then Lock and Stock. I'm wondering if it's something that has been released. That kind of goes with the whole Innistrd thing.
There's a good chance it has nothing to do with it, though.
Oh, boo.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie was for Khans, Fate, and Dragons. I think they just make them up to be silly. Like, Scars of Mirrodin was Lights, Camera, and Action.
What?
Yeah. They just make them up to be silly.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop trying to read into those, because I'm gonna try really hard and hurt myself. Or it'll at least keep me up when I really shouldn't be kept up. Yeah.
Frankly, neither of us should be kept up. At this point, I need to win 2 games with a derpy standard deck, and that means a lot of testing and making a Murloc deck that doesn't suck. So, yeah. Oh, God, it's going to be so much fun. I love
you. By the way, you do get an I told you so.
For
a specific class that I'm taking.
Oh, yeah. Told you.
Yeah. You get an I told you so. A really big one that you can be like, I told you so about.
Person is a loon. Oh my god, I opened a legend. Oh my god, this is the best pack ever. Okay, so this is my favorite thing about Hearthstone. I got 1 common, I've got 2 rares, which are another warrior card that I hate, and one of them is gold, and is for every class, so that's good. Gold is their version of foil. And then a priest rare, priest epic, which is better than rare. That is pretty sweet. And then I got a legend, which is a rogue card that I don't think I care about, but we'll see.
Do you have anything else to add about our original story, our original train of thought for today?
I don't think so. I think we've given a pretty good reasoning for how we both ended up in the game.
Yeah.
I mean, from there, I know that I think I started my first podcast shortly after that, and it ran randomly at best from then on.
I mean, for me... Oh, no, please go ahead.
I was just going to say, because very early on, I was like, I love Flavor of Magic, but I don't think there are a ton of podcasts doing anything with it. So, hey, I'll do a thing, and might as well see how it turns out. And I think it wasn't bad, but it definitely could have been better.
I mean, you would have been, what, 17, 18 at the time?
16 when I started initially. Because I remember that because I was the youngest person on MTG Cast. And then an annoying 15-year-old Australian, he knows who he is, probably not listening to this, but whatever, he took my title away from me.
Dun dun dun, you have been dethroned.
Yeah, I'm pretty much okay with that, though.
What was I gonna say? No, I mean, for me, I went to college and I started actually finding people who played Magic and, were into it, that I could talk about Magic with and play Magic with and geek out about Magic with, to the point where, I didn't play my first game of EDH until my sophomore year of college.
I love EDH. Frankly,
I hate EDH with all my heart.
I'm pretty sure almost every deck I have left at this point is Commander decks.
Fair enough.
To be fair, who have you been playing it with?
I haven't been playing it with anyone recently. I think I played it with my housemates over the summer. So that was my older brother and his housemate Kyle, who we played EDH, which was kind of cool. But there's a kid named Aaron Miller.
Okay, that's exactly why you do not like playing Commander.
Oh?
His decks are not fun.
There is that and also the gloating, but that's
Yeah.
another story.
In general, though, his decks are just like, okay, you don't play anymore now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It especially when I was trying to learn the format, I couldn't figure out, and I was frustrated
What
because
the
I couldn't
hell
figure.
was that?
Oh, I have my window open, and Colfax and the noises of Colfax.
You don't live on Colfax, though.
But like, you get the people who are driving really fast to avoid Colfax.
That was...
It sounded like a motorcycle. The meow type sound.
Yeah, that was horrifying.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if that helps this deck.
But no, like, I'd love to get, I'd love to play it again. It just, the people I started playing it with were very, like...
Yeah, spiky.
They're hard to play.
Yeah. I have
like,
one deck that I would probably not bring in just because it is literally an infect deck. So not a nice thing. It's the, okay, time to take someone down a peg in Commander deck. But the rest of my decks are all silly, derpy things, so...
That's like trying to play against Alex with his Modern Masters deck. I'm just like, I don't want to play you anymore. Like,
yeah, pretty much.
I feel like it would ruin our relationship if we played with this deck again. Like I said, I get competitive. Like, horribly competitive.
Makes sense.
I mean, like, growing up with 3 brothers, that'll do that for you.
Growing up with an angry, crazy sister will also do that to you, but I think I've been broken of that now.
I'm still getting over that. Like, on Catan night at my house, heads will roll.
This is why most games played at my house are things like D&D, where it's not that bad.
See, I don't think we could get the rest of my family into D&D. I mean, my youngest brother is not. He's not really into Magic or D&D or anything, and we kind of have to twist his arm to even get him to play Catan.
Oh, okay.
Like, I love him, but it's not one of the things that we share as a hobby.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just, I know that I get so competitive that it's kind of hard to play against me, and I get just like kind of ragey, and I just have to like breathe and remind myself, no, it's actually okay. It is just a game. Let it go. Or else I'll feel like murderous the entire night.
That I can completely understand.
Yeah. I mean, you've seen me when I'm angry.
Yep.
It's like a silent anger.
It's a, this person is going to kill me when I look away sort of anger.
Pretty much. Like, that happened in class today.
Oh, Lord.
I'll tell you about that in the end notes.
Oh, Lord. Well, that got evil very quickly.
That was an accident.
Sure.
Mostly?
Well, I don't think we have too many more, like, actually magic related. Oh my god, this deck. Magic things to talk about.
Not really. I mean, I was gonna say we should probably lead into our what's the thing that we're doing right now, like the extra stuff that we're reading, watching, playing, so on and so forth. I actually have a couple of things this week instead of I don't really have anything that I'm doing right now.
Oh, sweet. What are you doing?
Well, I've started playing 2 new games. There's a little platform game called Shovel Knight.
Oh my god, I love Shovel Knight.
It's so good. It's so adorable. Like, the Shovel Knight is so fantastic.
If you have not, really quickly, if you have not played Shovel Knight, you need to. It's on literally any platform you think it might be on.
It's so cute and wonderful and really fun to play. I'm playing it on, I think it's a 3DS Lite. Alex's 3DS Lite.
There's the 3DS, 3DS XL, and the new 3DS.
Yeah, I'm playing it on one of those, and it's really fun. Though I have to admit, I have yelled at it a couple of times, like calling out its mother.
It probably deserved it.
Oh, it totally deserved it. Because as anyone will tell you, I'm not the most skilled gamer, but like, I will get there eventually, and I will like rage at it until I get there. But I think I called it its mother names and questioned its virginity and how it
Me?
lost it.
Jesus?
I was angsty and into it, and I had just had a really long day at work. Enough said. Less said about that, the better.
Generally, yes.
Because it was I think it was Friday night, and Friday was stressful. So like, I think I questioned its mother and like made fun of it and was just like all the rage.
All the rage.
But it's a fun game. It's a simple game to play. And it's fun. It's just like one of those silly little games that just, it cheers you up with its kind of, I consider them almost throwback graphics.
Yeah, it is very much throwback.
So instead of it being like, oh, trying to get as realistic as possible or stylized, it's kind of pixelated. At least the in-game graphics are fantastically pixelated.
Oh my god, I just won.
Bravo.
I'm sorry, it was entirely out of the nowhere.
A little bit. And it's a fun game to play, and the music's cute, the storyline is kind of fun. It's definitely something that you want to play in your spare time.
And they also did a free DLC expansion thing for it, where you got to play as Plague Knight.
Ooh.
And it's just oh god, it's so much fun. It's such a good game.
It really is.
It's one of those platformers where at no point are you going to be cursing because it's slidey. You're going to be cursing because you fell off and you know it's your fault.
Exactly. It's like, oh, darn it. The bubbles, the stupid bubbles.
I am currently playing a game that makes me feel the exact same way.
Literally, that was literally it. That was why I was yelling at it. I was cursing its mother and like all of the above. Just getting frustrated with it because I'm like, grumble. Especially because when you start a new game, you're trying to figure out the mechanics of it, the best way to do things. And then for me, since I don't really play on the 3DS or anything like that very often, it's me like getting my hands used to the controls.
Yeah.
Because that's always weird.
Yeah, see, and for me, I recently, because I have a PS4 and mostly just play Destiny on it, and on occasion, oh no, bad person, and on occasion played Diablo. So I got, because I don't actually hate myself that much, I did not get Dark Souls 3, I got myself Bloodborne. Because, frankly, the aesthetic and the fact that it's set in a very much like a weird gothic area just appeals to me on a deeper level, and there's just cool, not goofy, that game is not in any way goofy, there's just cool things that resonate with me about it. If you've never played, it's amazing and wonderful, and bizarre as all hell, I'll be completely honest.
Bizarre is always nice.
But it's very, very good. But it is that same sort of, it is the From Software game. If you die, it's probably your fault. Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. For a second, I was like, where'd you go?
Oh, sorry. But yeah,
okay.
It is the From Software game. It is very combat heavy. If you die, it's probably your fault because you didn't understand the timing, or you screwed something up.
Or you just barely missed it.
Or the enemy stun-locked you and you're now cursing at yourself, mostly. Even though the enemy cheated and stun-locked you, but whatever.
It's always kind of fun.
Yep.
Let's see. Other things I'm playing right now. I have started playing Knights of the Old Republic.
You are very brave.
I like it. It's fun.
It is, but it reminds me too much of just like, I'm playing WoW with a better story, but I've invested so much more in WoW that I should probably just go play WoW.
Well, I like it so far. I barely started it on Sunday. It was one of those things where Alex was like, "Ooh, you'd like this. Let me download it for you." And I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna need stuff to occupy me. But I do like it so far. Haven't gotten too far into it, but it's definitely fun to play. Again, I'm playing it on my laptop, so wrangling my Bluetooth mouse is always a lovely challenge.
I'm very familiar with that challenge.
in all of its cantankerousness.
Yep.
But yeah, I like it so far.
That's
And
why
I
I
can
now have
actually
2
say,
wired mice.
ooh, so old-fashioned, but so wonderful at the same time.
They're amazing gaming mice, but that's why I have one and a backup one.
There you go then. Let's see. Anything else? Ooh, I finally watched Blade Runner.
I still have not done that.
It's so good.
I'm aware. I'm just a bad person.
Well, that's a whole nother issue, but
Mean.
sassy I think is a better word than mean.
I'm sticking with mean.
Okay. You can go cry in the corner.
Yup.
I'll keep going. But no, it's definitely a cool movie. I'm not going to give away anything about the plot, but I will say it's kind of interesting how they use light and shadow in cinematography, and just kind of the general grunginess of it. Like, that's totally cool. And you're also kind of just left asking a lot of questions. And I really don't mind a movie that does that, where you're kind of like, well, what is this then?
Yeah, that's always a good thing to see in a movie.
What is like this big central issue? It's like when you watched Inception, you're like, oh god, is he actually out of the dreams or is he still in there?
Just a little bit less up its own, I can't say that word.
Oh, quite literally. They make it so like, ooh, is he or isn't he? And I mean, okay, well, that was a little heavy-handed. I kind of like that they leave it up to you to make a decision.
I
And
have
it
no problem
inspires
with that. It's
discussion.
just the lead up to that is so... I don't care. I just don't care.
I will repeat, I agree that Inception is heavy-handed with that.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just
Yeah.
reinforcing that...
The thing is with Blade Runner, they ask the question without actually asking the question, which I think was pretty darn cool. It's a really masterful way of handling it.
Yeah.
And I mean, you also are left asking questions about humanity, like, what makes you human? What makes you real? What makes you all of these things? It's kind of like the Pinocchio kind of concept where, what makes a real boy?
Yeah, it really is that. I mean, it's frankly the line that I think at this point almost anyone has heard of Blade Runner is the do androids dream of electric sheep? That idea that...
Yeah.
Where's Greetings? There it is. That you're still ultimately dealing with another human being.
Mm-hmm.
Or not a human being. You're dealing with another sentient life form, and how do you treat that? Especially when it is a life form that ostensibly we as a people have created.
Exactly.
And theoretically should be responsible for. Like, do you treat it as a child, or do you treat it as a living, breathing being that you created fully formed?
Or there's the issue of...
Are they even, allowed to define their own fate?
Again, I'm going to bring up one of my lovely little things that I'm very fond of. Star Trek The Next Generation. The episode Measure of a Man goes over this same concept, asking whether or not Data is human. Or not whether or not he's human, whether he's sentient,
yeah.
Whether he has his own awareness to the point where he can make a decision about what taken apart by an inferior scientist and studied.
And the bigger question there isn't even so much that he's okay with being taken apart, it's that I don't think you can put me back together correctly, so no.
And essentially I will die.
Yeah.
Like he'll still, all the memories will still be there, but that's not Data.
It's not even, I think the idea isn't so much that the memories will be there, it's that the data that made up the memories is there, but the experience is gone. Mm-hmm. It's at some point I was taught that 1 + 1 = 2, but the situation where that actually happened I won't remember anymore.
Exactly. It's a cool episode. I'm a big Captain Picard fan over Captain Kirk any day. Well, just you get that lovely sort of logic over reason. You get logic and reason over like, I'm not supposed to touch it. Oh, I'm gonna go touch it. Oh, I shouldn't. You're telling me I shouldn't go touch it? I'm gonna go touch it with both hands.
It was also once Gene Roddenberry decided that he actually wanted the Star Trek universe to, well, not the Star Trek universe, specifically the Federation to be pseudo-utopian, where you have, money has been eliminated, hunger has effectively been eliminated. Like at one point you meet Picard's family, who are farmers and produce wine mostly because they still want to, and that's pretty much it.
Oh god, that actually was a really fun episode.
It was.
It's great now that Netflix has all of it of Next Generation up, because when I started watching it, I had to watch it out of order on YouTube, trying to like scramble around Wikipedia, try to get a sense of order.
Ugh.
It was fun, but
yeah,
now
it's such a good show.
It really is. I love it. Let's see. Is there anything else on my things I'm doing, reading, watching, eating, creating radar?
I can at least say that on my radar, I'm playing Destiny more again. I don't even know why. It was just suddenly, you know what? I kind of want to play Destiny.
I don't think there really is anything on this, because right now I'm in the trying to finish up the school year, apartment hunting, study abroad, figuring out type shenanigans.
Isn't it fun?
Adulting is stressful, and I'm like 99.8% sure that if I hadn't had a really nice long talk with my mother today, I might have just had like a little moment where I just needed to go sit in a corner, a dark, quiet corner, and rock myself in the fetal position.
Yep, I've had far too many of those.
Yeah.
Yay, not being a student anymore.
I have one more year, and I have the joy of not being on campus for it, which I'm kind of excited about.
It helps.
It really does. Let's see. Anything that you're, besides Destiny, is there anything else that you're reading, watching, playing, so on and so forth?
Like I said, Bloodborne, because oh my god, I freaking love Bloodborne. It's just so much fun. I mean, I will agree it is a deeply stupid game at times. Most of those times being when it is trying to beat me in the... Hang on, I have to do math really quickly. That's 6 plus... Hang on. That's 8 plus 2 plus... Oh my god, I can just win here. Sweet. It is a deeply flawed game at times. Mostly those are times when it is blatantly cheating. But it's so much fun, because if you have not played the From Software game, this is the From Software game, but with no shields and not directly any magic. So instead you have guns. Lots and lots of guns. Actually, not that many, because there's like a blunderbuss, a repeating pistol, a normal pistol, a rifle. I think that's pretty much it. So instead of blocking is for weaklings, I guess. So you don't block, you shoot people instead of parrying. So the entire system is basically built around try and get hit as little as possible. If you get hit, hit them back as quickly as possible, because they have a mechanic where if you take damage, if you deal damage back, you can like regain what's it called? Hit points before if you do it before a certain time. And then you can stagger enemies by, instead of parrying them, shooting them in the face at the right time, which is usually about a half second before their attack connects with your face. And they get staggered, and you basically do what is technically called a visceral attack, but I really love what a streamer who I was watching when it originally came out described as fist goes in, blood comes out, where you literally, no matter what, you just walk up to this staggered person, shove your fist into about their midsection, depending on how tall or short they are, and then yank it out, and blood goes everywhere. Because, of course, blood is also your money, and many other things in this game.
That's not creepy.
It gets much worse. Basically, the most simple idea I can give you is basically you are in a classic gothic town that went kind of bat crazy. Yeah. And you are unfortunately arriving on the night of the hunt, which is the yearly event, it seems yearly, where hunters, and more recently, because everyone has gone a little bit loony, everyone starts patrolling the street hunting for beasts which are people who have been infected with some kind of contaminated blood and are turning into werewolf-ish things. It should be said that everyone shares blood because the town you're in, Yarnum, is the base of the healing church, the Church of the Healing Blood.
I just, sorry. I'm not squeamish, but the concept of using blood as a currency and
The currency is more incidental because it's hard to describe, but basically most of your interactions with people who would take the blood are not with human beings. There's, and it's not even technically blood, it's blood echoes. So you can channel blood echoes into this doll who increases your stats, or you can trade blood echoes to messengers, which are these creepy little skeleton-looking dudes who are actually adorable that will sell you stuff.
Wait a second. Alex is playing blood. Oh,
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No, it hit me when you said these little doll-like messengery things. They're so cute!
Yeah, so there's the messengers, and then there's the doll, which is it is a porcelain human-sized doll.
Yeah, she's got really fair skin and fair hair, and I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, so basic idea...
It just took me a second of being like, wait, what is this thing? Herp-de-derp-de-herp-de-derp.
Yeah,
I know.
So basic idea, the Church of the Healing Blood was established some time long ago because they came upon, I think it was a chalice that had blood that was actually healing diseases and things. So
kind of like a Holy Grail type.
Yeah, but they basically
Sangreal type thing.
They started doing a thing where it was they would inject the blood into people, and then it would make them better, and then they would inject it into healthy people, and then they would produce, the healthy people would produce more of this, so the Healing Church was founded, and they would give this blood to other people to help them. And at some point, some sort of bad blood ended up in circulation that started causing the werewolf mutations and things. And then the hunters came out, and it turned out that so everyone has this. It may have actually just been the original blood that was bad. Everyone has some of this beast blood in them. So on the night of the hunt, hunters go out to kill anything that succumbs to being a beast, which by the end of the hunt is apparently most hunters. It's one of those weird games, as with all From Software games, where there is little directly told story, but a ton of story that you just sort of figure out by playing the game and reading item descriptions and figuring out what's going on. It's really cool, and I'm just enjoying it a lot.
That's cool.
I can't just stop playing. It's kind of annoying.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I've actually beaten a bunch of bosses, and now I'm trying to figure out, okay, where am I supposed to go now? Because I've saved all of the human beings that I can at this point, and I have 2 different options, neither of which one I can't find, and one I'm not a massive fan of because it's a place full of people who have been infected with literally snakes. They're these annoying guys who are just basically random townsfolk who decided, I'm gonna go hunt some monsters. And it's just really lanky people who are starting to get kind of hairy because they're starting to go a little bit beastie, but they just carry around axes or guns or something and just walk around to clear out the wolves. But now I'm out in the forest surrounding the town, and one of them that I discovered, I'm walking up to him okay, he hasn't seen me yet, I'm just gonna do a sneaky kill and attack him, and I think that I do enough to stun him. Instead, he turns around and his head bursts into a whole bunch of angry snakes who want to eat me. They are coming out of his head, and now I'm just in an area where they are commonplace, and it's horrifying.
That's not creepy at all.
And after looking it up, apparently, if you don't kill them fast enough, they can spawn literally a ball of snakes that they throw at you, and that then, they're tied together. Think Rat King of snakes that are still trying to eat you, while a man who has a technically a corpse who has a bunch of snakes puppeteering him is also still trying to kill you.
Fun stuff.
Yeah, no, like, I am not super squeamish, but this does the same thing that, like, traveling through a subway in Fallout does to me, where I'm just, there are ghouls in here, I know that they're in here, they're not even that scary, I can kill them in, like, one shot, I just don't want to deal with it, though.
It's like, I want to run around these if possible.
Yeah, it's like, I'm totally fine with the horrible, like, people that turn into a 2-story tall werewolf thing, and the ones that, like, are wearing their bony face, bony, like, skull as a face mask once they turn. But as soon as you have, like, human being that is now being puppeteered by a bunch of evil snakes, for some reason I'm just like, nope, 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 nope.
Nice.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure that's all I have left. All I can do right now. Because I know I'm nowhere near the end, but I think I have to go through there to keep going. Like, there are optional-ish bosses.
Have to suck it up and play it.
Like, there are optional-ish bosses, but I'm pretty sure this is not an optional area. Yeah, like, I know that there's another boss that I have not been able to find that's, like, a witch, and if I could figure out where she is, I want to do that one, because there's a stupid exploit where, so there's another currency called Insight, which is basically your knowledge of the old god that everyone worships. And you get 1 insight every time you see a boss, and 2 every time you kill one. Or the first time you see a boss, you get 1 insight. And then you can also collect items that you can crack open to get more. And things happen as you get more of them. Some are good, some are bad. But this is a boss who apparently, if you fight them with no insight, which to do you basically have to lose to them once and then go to a specific thing to lose a whole bunch of insight, you go in and none of their attacks do anything anymore. Like, their most common ability is to basically spawn mad ones, which are just weird, wraithy things. But if you have no insight, they don't spawn. So you can just walk in, like, they try to attack you and just nothing happens. So it's just a boss who is now, like, hit her until she dies.
Very cool.
Yeah, but if I could find her, I could do that, but I don't know where the hell she is. Because she also has, like, you can upgrade your weapons, and you can also upgrade yourself with, like, runes, but to do it, you have to get the tools to do it, and she's got the tools, and I don't know where she is.
And I'm assuming you are going to completely refrain from any sort of spoilery things.
It's one of those weird things where the only spoilers are what are the bosses, and I mean, there really aren't that many spoilers for the game, honestly. Like, if I could think of some, I probably wouldn't say them, but it's that sort of thing where it's just like the bosses happen pretty much in the same order every time, and you get the same item. If you're trying to find all the items, you get them in roughly the same order. There's a couple optional bosses, but that's about it. And, like, the only optional one I've seen so far is basically when killing bosses advances time, and when you advance time to be night, these horrible, literally the enemy type is called a snatcher. They look kind of like a really skinny gray man with, like, really bony features and giant hands that is covered in just, like, a black thing, covering their face and everything, and carrying a bag that is clearly supposed to contain a very bloody human body. They start appearing, and they just, if you die to one, which you probably will do, because the first time you see them, you're just like, what the hell is this? They just beat the snot out of you, and then you, instead of waking up at a lamp like you normally do, you just wake up in a jail with no explanation of where you are.
You cut out real quick.
Oh, sorry. You just wake up.
Okay.
You wake up in a jail that looks nothing quite like any other place you've been, and it's just, okay, what am I doing now? Entire area is optional. Once you find a new lamp, you can just leave if you want. But like, there's just extra stuff you can do in there. But
Still kind of cool though.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like that, like the optional boss in that area is, if you pay attention to little things, you learn that it is the partner of a hunter who you can meet elsewhere in the world. and who normally is actually aggressive to you, but once you kill his partner who's turned, you can talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, normally he is aggressive because he is sitting on top of a tower with a goddamn chain gun, like opening fire on you whenever he can see you. But apparently once you kill his friend, if you did not accidentally, say, knock him off the tower, which I did, then you can talk to him and he'll be like, yeah, we should talk about, like, how we deal with this town we're in. Like,
That's if you don't die first.
Yeah, he's also extra weird because he's in Old Town Yarnum, which has been entirely given over to beasts. And apparently his thing is just like, well, they don't know how to use ladders, really, so I'm just on top of this tower, and,
That works for me.
Yeah, no, he's just like, no, I defend the gate so that no hunters come here to kill the beasts, because he argues, like, they used to be human, so why not let them, like, be? Because they'll eat everyone, but okay, fine. Yeah.
It just sounds kind of cool, though.
Yeah.
I like weird characters.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
building.
Frankly, the most important part about him is that I know that if you kill him, I think it takes longer if you're friendly to him, but he drops what's called the powder keg badge, which, whenever you get a badge, it unlocks new things to be purchased from the messengers, and in this case, it's the powder keg weapons. The powder kegs were a group of hunters that built weird stuff, namely the rifle spear, that is a spear with a gun in it, and the stake driver, which is just like a weird metal fist that you can, like, lock back, and it has just, like, a spear in it, and you can lock it back and then punch, and it springs out the stake as well.
Again, still kind of cool.
Oh, yeah. Like, that's the only important part about this guy, is just he lets you have that.
You have a big, punchy, like, stabby thing.
Yeah, I don't think I've actually used any of those guns, just because I frankly really like the threaded cane, it's literally a sort of bladed cane that turns into a whip.
Yeah, Alex tends to use that when he plays. The couple of times I've watched him play, I'm just like, oh, okay, sweet.
Yeah, it's good. I started with, I think it's the Hunter's Axe, which is it's like a normal hand axe, and then you can extend it into being like a two-handed halberd thing, which they're both really good because they both have nice long range, but the threaded cane just scales better with stat increases, and it also just has a little bit more range. And there are other, like, bonuses to it, but they don't actually explain them in-game. Like, there's a righteous quality that weapons can have that give them a damage bonus to certain enemies, and then there's a serrated quality they can have, which gives them bonuses to dealing damage to beasts. This is never explained in-game at any point, but people have figured it out, and there's some point where it's sort of, like, alluded to, and the cane is the only weapon that has both. It's like, when it's a whip, it does extra damage to beasts. When it's a cane, it does extra damage to... I don't even remember who, actually. Might just be normal humans? I don't remember.
Still cool, though.
The church, in this case, operates under a habit of, we must eliminate all of those that have turned into beasts, and probably all of those who may have seen someone turn into a beast, because they'll probably turn into a beast. And anyone who saw our face, because they'll probably turn into a beast.
That's not eerie.
It's very inquisitorial church. Yeah.
Nope.
It's still a lot of fun.
I think... Did you have anything else besides that right now?
No, I think I've successfully rambled on about Bloodborne for a little bit too long now.
I mean, you were so excited about it. I didn't want to, like, squash your excitement.
It is. It's so much fun. It's so much fun, and I'm thankfully one of those people who doesn't, like, rage all to hell when I die from something stupid. I just sort of, like...
I will say I like the swooshy physics of the game.
Yep.
The swooshy physics. I'm the type of gamer that when I'm playing a game, I'm like,
I'm a
can
little
I walk
bit...
off the edge of this?
Oh, yes,
I'm gonna try walking off the edge of this. Will I fall, or will it just, like, be like, oh, don't go to the edge? And the other part of me is like, I'm going to walk off the edge and see what happens there.
This is the From Software game. Yes, you can fall off the edge. You will probably die, or maybe you'll get really lucky and turn into you found a secret.
I know, it makes me be?
You'll probably die and lose all of your money.
I know, but like there's something, I don't know, perverse? Maybe slightly perverse about the desire to like walk off the edge in a video game, to be like, okay, what's gonna happen?
Well, I think with that we should probably close out our show before we go too much longer.
Definitely.
So thank you all very much for listening. We have been the Labyrinth of Lore, which is a Layer of Lore podcast. You can find everything that we do at neon.net or at our Patreon at Layer of Lore. All of these links are in the show notes, as well as the email you can contact us at info@neon.net. And
don't forget, if you subscribe to our Patreon, you can get you can access the Derpy Puppy feed.
And the extra bits, which is the stuff we record before and after these podcasts, where we don't self-censor.
Today we'll have a lot of fun stories.
Yep.
I will be able to tell you that.
And there was something else. Oh, we are not, one, because I don't think Miriam knows or cares, we are not talking about all of the stuff that has happened with the pro players and such, especially since they backpedaled on a bunch of it.
Gossipy gossipness?
No. It's more people's livelihoods, and not even livelihoods, people being able to actively compete as pro players. It's not really, oh no.
It sounds like it's bad.
It's a change. It's hard to explain.
Okay.
It's hard to explain in a very short amount of time. Honestly, if you want the most level-headed explanation I think I have ever heard, go listen to the most recent Monday Night Magic. I believe it is 310. They had Greg Wesco, I believe, on, who is a pro player and was one of the people significantly most affected by this. And I will point out that all of this is before the backpedaling that happened 8-ish hours ago from Wizards. This all happened on Sunday and had a significant amount of backlash. So just take everything they say with the understanding that they record it on Monday night and the backpedaling happened on Tuesday afternoon. So still, the most level-headed discussion I've heard about it. So check that out. Oh, right,
level-headed is always good.
Yeah, I was going to make sure, 90% sure that it is episode 510. Yep.
Episodes.
Yep, Monday Night Magic, episode 510. Go listen to that if you want a good explanation of what happened, along with that class action lawsuit being put on by judges. It'll be weird.
Wow.
They're bringing it up in California as sort of a, like, I kind of agree with them on Monday Night Magic, pointing out that it's probably more of a, we're doing this so that situation has to be figured out. Basically, there was the Southeastern judge incident where a bunch of judges were banned for 3 months, and then it got canceled to time served for sharing unofficial spoiler card that had been leaked. Except that they hadn't. Wizards claimed that they banned them because they had private access to a spoiler card that had leaked from inside Wizards of the Coast, and that they shared it privately amongst themselves. It was like, it had already been shared on Twitter, and someone posted it into the chat, and people who have not used the chat there's a Facebook chat. So if you've ever tried to leave a Facebook chat, you really can't. So people who had not
like you sold your soul and didn't realize that you sold it.
Yeah, there were people who were added to the chat and were banned for 3 months because someone had added them to a chat and had never seen this link before. It had also already been shared on Twitter anyway, so. But basically a bunch of judges who, while most don't actively try to make judging their, paid
vocation.
Yeah, since most of them don't get paid, some judges are bringing a class action lawsuit against Wizards. Effectively, the idea being that, look, if you're going to treat us sort of like employees in that we are expected to give time to set up magic events, and then you are going to just fire us for no reason, then we're going to do effectively the same thing Uber drivers have been doing and sort of go, well, it's time to figure out how exactly we stand then.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to this than I can really explain. It's another one of those, go listen to them, they'll explain it better. The basic idea being, I think a lot of the people involved in this are trying to prevent a case where, once again, a whole bunch of judges are suddenly told, you have already signed up to dedicate, like, several weeks of your life in the coming few months to a thing, and have bought plane tickets and planned monetary investments around this, like and we've now just randomly fired you for something that you physically did not do.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, so I don't think this is being done in any sort of vindictive way. I think it is very much that. Go check out the Monday Night Magic to get a much more, like, even and clear explanation from a judge who has at least some better idea what's going on. He is not in any way involved, just still. I think that's pretty much... Yeah.
I was going to say, I think with that, then we should probably wrap up.
Yes, we should, because we've been going for quite a while, especially since this was supposed to be a short episode.
Yeah, I did let you ramble a little bit.
Yeah, plus I've got some more Hearthstone to play. Since
Yay!
I'm so happy while we were recording, I basically managed to build a standard sort of Divine Shield Murloc Paladin deck, and I like it.
Nice.
It is very dumb.
All right, well, we thank you so much for tuning in to listen to us yet again in our crazy ramblings.
We will actually see you next week.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Sorry about that. We both, life kind of, got a little crazy.
Screw your plans, and then kick them in the balls.
Essentially.
Yeah.
And then step on their toes.
Yep, just to make it a little bit worse. And with that, I guess we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hey y'all, thank you very much for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you did. And maybe check out all the other content that we produce on our website and Patreon. If you'd like to support us in any way, you can go to the Patreon, and for any amount of money at all, you'll get access to our Derpy Puppy feed, which is just videos and pictures of my dogs being adorable and spastic. Just like the video playing up in the corner right now. They literally cannot help it. For a little bit more, you can also get access to all of our videos, all of our blogs, podcasts, anything we produce between 24 and 48 hours early if you'd like. Let's open up this bag and see if we get it. So you've got Faceless Summoner for 6 mana, it's a 5/5, summon a random 3-cost minion. That's pretty good. Stand Against the Darkness, 5, you get 5 1/1 Silver Hand Recruits. Yeah, I don't love it. It's not a bad card, I just don't love it. Cult Apothecary. Actually, this is a really good counter to like an aggro deck that's throwing out a bunch of dudes. So I guess technically closer, it's a better counter to a Zoo deck or the dumb Warlock thing that I keep playing. Because Battle Cry, for each enemy minion, restore 2 health to your hero. Wildfin Tidehunter is amazing. For 2, you get a 2/1 and a 1/1 with Taunt to protect the 2/1. It's awesome. I love it. Corrupted Seer. I also love this one. So, Battle Cry, deal 2 damage to all non-Murloc minions. I mean, yeah, it's a 2/3 for 6, but it's a 2/3 for 6 that goes, hey, I'm gonna kill all your not Murlocs now, bye. Admittedly, if you're playing the Biofin, you do lose the ooze, but it's totally worth it. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.